Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be showing you a tutorial on my updated cut crease look. This is the same look that I had in my products that I regret buying video. A lot of you guys requested that I do a video on it. My cut crease has definitely evolved a lot over the past year and a half. It used to be really dramatic, really cut, and really fierce. It's definitely softened up quite a bit to get to the look that I'm going to be doing for you today. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first I'm going to start off by getting some tape. Usually I use Scotch tape. This is actually medical tape, which is, I think, even stickier than Scotch tape. So what I do is I just stick it on the back of my hand a bunch of times so that way it's not too crazy sticky anymore and it won't rip off half my face. So everybody's different for like what angle they like to do their winged liner or their cut crease, whatever it might be. I like to do like a more obtuse angle. This is just what I prefer on my face shape. I feel like if the angle goes too high up, I just look weird and it just doesn't really complement my face very well. And once we have the tape on, I'm gonna go ahead and add a eyeshadow base. This is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot with a Sigma P82 brush. I always like to set my paint pot with a sheer setting powder. It just makes it easier for me to apply eyeshadow. And for the first eyeshadow color, this is Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek. I've been using this a ton lately. I really love this color for doing a really subtle transition color. And I'm gonna apply it using my Real Techniques Dual Fiber brush. I absolutely love this eyeshadow brush, especially for doing any blending or like the transition color. So I'm just applying my Peach Smoothie into my crease area and also into the upper crease. And I take it all the way out, like almost like a straight line. So because we're gonna start building that cut crease look. So we want it to be very elongated. So for the next color, I'm going to be taking Fawn. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is one of my favorite medium brown shades right now. I have been looking for a less expensive dupe, and even though I don't own this eyeshadow, I went to the Makeup Geek website. I have a feeling Latte from Makeup Geek is a really similar color. I'm going to be using a MAC 217 brush and just lightly buffing it into the outer V area of the eye. When I used to do cut creases, I would make sure that no brown went on my lid, my actual, like the round part of my lid. But that's what I've kind of changed. I made it look a little bit softer, so I'm lightly kind of dusting it all over just the outer part of the lid instead of just keeping it in the crease. And now we're going to add the next color, which is the really dark brown, and I'm going to be using Rich Brown from Anastasia Beverly Hills. But a similar color that you could use is Mocha from Makeup Geek. I also really like this brown. I just wanted to use something a little bit deeper than that, so that's why I'm using this one. And using a Morphe E36 brush, I'm just going to lightly be dusting the Rich Brown shade into the outer V of the eye. And I'm using the tape as my guide, so I'm just kind of buffing into a V shape this dark brown shade. And I'm really slowly just building the color up here. You could definitely apply more product at once. I'm also adding a little bit to my actual lash line, just that way it kind of gives the illusion of a smoked out liner, even though it's not really a smoked out liner. It's just gonna add a little bit more depth and dimension to your eyes. So then you just keep building up the dark brown shadow to however dark you want it. You could add black directly into that V area, but this is a much more like soft cut crease than what I used to do before. So normally I would always add black into the crease like with a straight like angled brush and just like cut it right there. But I've kind of stopped doing that. I'm making it look a little bit more soft now. So that's why I'm not even using any black eyeshadow in the outer edge. And now for the brightening color on the lid, I'm using Blanc Type from MAC, which used to be my favorite color because it's a really bright, creamy white. My current favorite shadow to use, which I can't find unfortunately, is actually Buff, which is from the Lorac 2 palette. It's a much softer shade. It's not quite as bright white, but I couldn't find that one today. So I'm using Blanc Type and I am just lightly tapping it onto the lid using a MAC 239 brush. And just so it's not quite so strong, I just came back in with that Real Techniques Dual Fiber brush and lightly buffed it out so it kind of blended it all together a little bit more. And then we are ready to take off the tape, and you can see we now have our guide for eyeliner. So the eyeliner that I'm going to be using today is the Kat Von D ink liner. I also have the Benefit Their Real Push-Up Liner. This is the color Beyond Brown. I like both of these liners. They're both very different. The Kat Von D one is much more wet, for lack of a better term, and the Benefit liner is more of a gel texture, so it just kind of depends what your preference is. But since I was wearing the Trooper liner in the look, I decided to just go with that one today. And here are two swatches of both of them, so that way you can see the difference. The Kat Von D one is also a lot darker, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that one today. So I'm just adding it to my lash line, and this one, the very first time that I used it actually bled a lot. When I first put it on the inner corner of my eye, it kind of freaked me out. I'm getting a little bit better at using it. I still struggle when it comes to using the felt tip pens. I am just way better at using a brush. I don't know why. I wish I could use these ones. They're way more convenient, but for some reason, just using a gel and a brush is a lot easier for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and draw on my liner, and then just because this eyeliner does put out a lot of product at once, I have to use a brush for the tail of my wing. I know this is probably like crazy looking, but I have to use a brush for the tail of my wing or else my wing is gonna be like gigantic and fat and I won't have the little flick at the end. So I'm using the Zoeva winged liner brush and just tapping on a little bit to give that nice flick on the outer edge of the eye. And then I'm just putting on some mascara. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And now I'm just gonna buff the fawn and rich brown onto the lower lash line using that same Morphe brush, the E36 one. And then I'm gonna add this NYX Gel Pencil Liner to my waterline. This is in the color dark brown. In my products I regret buying video, I didn't have any eyeliner in my waterline. I just like to use a little bit of dark brown, especially on the outer edge. I just feel like it makes my eyes look a little bit more defined. So that's the only difference in this look. And here I'm taking a Morphe E35 brush just to smudge a little bit more of that rich brown color closer into the lash line. So now I'm just gonna finish up the mascara on the bottom lashes and then we are ready to apply falsies. So I want to show you guys two different options of lashes. The ones on the left are the Red Cherry number 43, which I absolutely love. And then the ones on the right are the Cocoa Lashes in Queen Bee, which you know I love. I just wanted to show you guys kind of like a difference between the two. The Queen Bee lashes are really, really long. And because I am loyal, I'm going to go ahead and wear the Queen Bee ones because that's what I wore in my last video. So a tip that I have for you guys when applying lashes that are more dramatic and have a thicker lash band is to bend them a lot. As you can see here, I'm just bending them so that way it kind of makes a more rounded shape. Just that way it sits on my eyes easier. If you don't bend them and you have more rounded eyes like I do, when you try and put them on, they'll just kind of like poke straight out. It's a lot more difficult to put them on. So if you just kind of work them a little bit like this, it'll really help when you go to apply them. Now to brighten up the inner corner of the eye, I'm going to take some Mary Luminizer highlight. This is from the Balm, and I just add that with a pencil brush to the inner corners of my eyes. Still my favorite highlight to use. I also put some on the tip of my nose and then also in my Cupid's bow. And then we're going to go ahead and finish it up with some lip liner. This is Stripped Down from MAC, which is currently my favorite, most favorite lip liner right now. It is so pretty. It's kind of got a more oaky undertone to it. And then for lipstick and lip gloss today, I am using Japanese Maple from MAC, which is another favorite lipstick that I have from MAC. It's a little bit more pinky, sheer, and creamy compared to Peach Stock from MAC. So if you're a little bit more pale or if you want something a little bit more pink, I definitely recommend getting Japanese Maple. And then I'm just gonna finish it off with some Gilded Lip Gloss from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is such a pretty lip gloss color. When I first saw it, I wasn't really into it, but I got it anyway. It was like an impulse buy. And I just love it. It gives your lips like a really full, pouty look. It just has a really pretty gold, shimmery finish to it without being like chunky glittery. And that wraps up the tutorial for this makeup look. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching.